So guys, next video is on the trade-off between a high-end finish and everything else. Very interesting topic, right? I guess the standard of finish you want your property will have a big impact on one, the kind of tenants you get, and two, your objectives, right? So one, you got to realize when investing, every pound counts, and therefore you want to make sure you're getting, or for me, my objective was to get every bang for my buck, and therefore I didn't want to put that much money into my properties. Okay, cool. So let's say there's two flats on the same road. One's a new build, and that's going for 500,000, two-bed flat, and one's an old flat going for 300,000, and that old flat's in an old block. It's not that desirable. Now, if you bought both, you're probably going to rent out the new build quicker because it's more attractive. There's going to be people ready to go, and you're probably going to get a young professional tenant inside. However, the fact that you paid 500,000 for it, your yield is going to be a lot lower. On the flip side, if you look at the old block, which is not as attractive, you may be able to get 50, 100 pounds less rent for it because it's not as attractive, but you paid 300,000 for it, and therefore your yield is a lot higher. You might have got that at a very good price, but maybe a young professional living in the city will not want to live in that property because it's not to their standard. You haven't put a lot of money into that property apart from the deposit and sourcing that property, whereas that might generate you a higher yield because the cost of that property was lower. However, you may take a month, 6 weeks to find a tenant, and therefore you've got a void period that you need to factor. So despite the fact that you're going to get a better yield, you need to take into account the type of tenant you're going to get and how long it's going to take for you to find a tenant. Even if you have, in the old block, you don't have the type of tenants you wanted, that might not make them bad tenants. You might need to do a bit more due diligence on them, but they can still be good tenants. In one of my flats, it wasn't the most desirable, but I had the same tenant stay there for 7 years without any issues with rent. So I didn't suffer with a void period and therefore impacting my overall yield. Cool, I hope that's made sense. If it hasn't, DM me and I'll try and help out. Like, comment, subscribe, post, repost, all that stuff, all the good stuff. Thank you very much. Peace.
Say that.
Cool.
Unpost, repost.